Hi everybody, welcome back to Three Sisters Homestead. It is about 8:30 at night. It's sprinkling a little bit, but I figured I would come out here and I'm going to prune some of the tomatoes and prune up some of the squash. These squash here are getting to be pretty big and they're coming out into the walkway here. So I figured I would take my pruners and cut off some of the leaves because these zucchini and squash, these are pretty prickly, if you can see them. And the kids come out here and help. And earlier we were checking the squash to see if any of them were ready. And he was complaining that he was getting poked and didn't want to walk down there. So I'm gonna go ahead and I am gonna show you guys how I prune these. Okay, so these leaves that are hanging out in the walkway, I'm just gonna take my pruners and I'm gonna come in here and clip off down as low as I can. Just like that. And I'm just gonna cut off some of the lower foliage. I'm not gonna cut off any of this newer growth, just the lower ones. Like these ones are getting a little bit yellow. See how that one's getting a little yellow? I'm gonna take that off. Bear Manch. This one looks pretty yellow. I'm gonna take that off. This one's got a little crispy there. So I don't know if that's any disease or what, but I'm just gonna go ahead and take that one off too. All right, that is about all I'm gonna do on that one. And then I'm just gonna go through and do that to all the rest of them. All right, that is it for the squash. This row is squash too. I didn't really have to do much to these ones yet. There was just a couple leaves that were looking pretty bad, so I took them off. So I've got this walkway cleared out of the bigger leaves that were hanging in the walkway. That way the kids can come through and help us harvest our squash. Got a bunch coming on, little tiny guys. Yep, now we are going to move on to the tomatoes. All right, this is one of our Brandywine tomatoes, and I'm going to show you how we are going to be pruning these. This stem here is one of the arms of the plant. And this right here in this corner is what we call the armpit. This little one coming out right here is what is called a sucker. These suckers, we go ahead and we prune these off. So anything below these ones I'm gonna take off. That way this gets more airflow and these aren't hanging and touching the ground and getting disease. So I'm just gonna snip these ones off at the bottom here. And this one. And then these little guys, these suckers, I'm gonna snip all of these off on this whole plant. Now these suckers, you can see on here how they have these little hairs. If you take this and you put it in some water, these hairs will grow into roots. And then you can put these into the dirt and grow another tomato plant from these suckers. But I'm not gonna do that because we have plenty of tomatoes. I'm just gonna go through and cut off all of the suckers on this. Looks like I got all of them off of this one. So that one's good to go. And I just used the smaller one so that you guys could see really well. These other ones have gotten pretty big, so I didn't want to try to demonstrate while I'm dealing with that mess. So I'm gonna go through and do these, and we'll set you guys on a time lapse. All right, we went through and we did these first 3 rows. I didn't think you guys would want to sit here and watch us prune tomatoes for an hour. I'm gonna go ahead and show you what they look like after we pruned them. There are a bunch of suckers. Like this one's pretty big. This would be one of the ones that you would want to cut off this little bit of foliage on the bottom and put in water to root these bigger ones. But we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna throw them out. But if you look in here, we cut off anything that was touching the ground, and then we cut off all of the little suckers that were in the armpits. And this looks a lot better, a lot more manageable, and we're gonna be able to get in there to harvest the fruit when they start to grow. But that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.